Can you please tell us about yourself?
Hi, I am Dr. April Phillips. I am the Director of Bear Power at Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri.
Can you please tell us about Missouri State and the surrounding community?
So Missouri State started over 100 years ago. We started as a normal school, which was just for teaching people how to be educators, teachers. We've definitely expanded. We have over 170 majors, and it's a small campus that seems large but has a close-knit community. The Springfield area is very welcoming to all individuals, and our students have been able to not only thrive on campus but have internships off campus in the community and building those relationships with nonprofits, businesses, and organizations as a whole. It's really lovely here.
Can you please tell us about the Bear Power program?
So Bear Power is a 5-semester program at Missouri State University. It's a comprehensive transition program, or a CTP. We have been recognized by the U.S. Department of Education because we provide services to students with intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities. We are looking for helping students with 4 areas, 4 pillars, we say. Academic, of course, we're at the university. Social skills, internship, job readiness skills, and independent living. Our program has grown over the last few years. We started in 2019, and we now have had 25 students complete the program. Last fall, we had 27 students on campus, and then we had 8 graduate, our largest group yet, in December. And each cohort that starts in the fall can have up to 15 students. We try to make sure that we keep our numbers small enough so we can provide the support that they need. We are residential, so students live on campus. They usually start out living in Hutchins Hall or Hammonds Hall, and then they can change dorm buildings after that if they would like.
How do students apply for the Bear Power program?
How do students qualify? So students must have completed high school. They must be over 18 and have a disability and want to attend college, but not be able to go the traditional route. So what that looks like is maybe someone has an IQ in the 60s or 70s, but has a desire to learn more and independent enough, and that means being able to manage your own medication, get up out of bed and get up, ready, dressed, handle social situations, living with others as best as we need for someone coming to campus. We want to make sure it's safe for our students, but also those living in the same area. We might have students in the upper end of IQ range if someone is on the autism spectrum or some other condition. So we have a vast range of individuals, varying abilities and disabilities, which is great. Gives us a nice exploration of how to make friends and be welcoming and including all. Students have to apply to be in our program. We have an online application, or they can download the PDF. It's about 30 pages long, so it's a little lengthy, but half of it the student fills out and half their family, parents, or support person would fill out. They have to provide their high school transcript, 3 letters of recommendation, a letter from either the school or an agency saying there's not been any behavior issues the last 3 years, and then their last IEP and last evaluation. And if they don't have an IEP, that could be their 504 plan or their individual service plan or something of the sort. So for academics support, we have our students work with a graduate assistant one-on-one for an hour or 2 a week. And then we have additional tutors in the office that they can use as they need. They also have our staff that they can reach out to at any time. Another layer of support, a part of our team, is ambassadors. Those are peer mentors. So the Missouri State students that volunteer to be a friend to our students. And those individuals can be just a social friend, go hang out, get engaged on campus, but also can help with academics as well as needed. Our students take 6 hours out of the course catalog each semester as a minimum. They can take more than that. We've had students take up to 12 hours a semester. They have one class that's not in the course catalog that's just for Bear Power students, And each semester is a different topic for life skills. So the first semester is reading and writing for college, learning assistive technology if that would be helpful, study skills, resume building, interview skills. And the next semester is time and money management. Then we have community engagement and disability advocacy. We have communication and relationships. And then finally, this final semester is transition to employment. So we're really hitting those job readiness skills really, really hard. Our students can take classes across the campus. They don't have to take the prereqs that degree-seeking students do. So if they don't like English, they don't have to take English 101 or Math 101, those kind of things. But some students do. And so they can take those classes and they can take them for credit or audit. So if a student's taking them for audit and they still need some accommodations, we go through the typical process of using the Disability Resource Center and getting those accommodations sent to the professor. So what if it's extra time, like time and a half on a test or preferred seating? All those kind of basic accommodations can be handled that way. But if a student needs a little bit more support, so what if writing is difficult and they want to take a class, but there is a 5-page paper in this class? Well, if they take the class for audit, then maybe they do a 1-page paper. Or maybe there are essay questions and they can answer in bullet form or short sentences. So there's different things that we can do for each class and each individual based on their ability level and their desire to show their knowledge. And it's a process that we work with the professors. Like what does the student need to show their content knowledge and how can we get through that? And then for executive functioning and independent living skills, all of our staff is really fundamental for those pieces. We teach the students time management, using a calendar, using their email, making sure they're communicating with people in the methods we have in our program. Make sure you're responding, make sure you're showing up on time. If you're not, making sure if you're not going to something or you're late, make sure you're communicating those things. If the students need help with learning how to do laundry, or if they want to make a meal, they can reach out to the staff and we can help them.
What housing options are available to Bear Power students?
In the residence hall, I didn't say this before, they start out in a 4-person suite. So what that looks like is 2 bedrooms, and they usually have 2 Bear Power students in one room and 2 traditional students in the other room. They share a little living space, a little like a refrigerator, microwave, sink, and a bathroom. So those dorm rooms are really nice because they don't have to share a bathroom with a large space. They have that small community. And the dining hall is actually attached to those 2 dorm buildings at the bottom. So when weather's nasty, they don't have to go outside. For mental health, our students have access to our counseling center that's available. And the counseling center not only can do that one-on-one counseling, but they can do groups, other activities, maybe even just helping them plan and push them forward versus that crisis type of counseling session. They are amazing folks over there. And then career counseling, we have a career center on campus. So our students are able to use that office as well, even past graduation. From our program, they can use those services to help them improve their resume, practice interview skills, or help finding a job. And job skills screening, what we do specifically in Bear Power is whatever the student is focused on. What if it's animal science? So right now I have a student that loves reptiles, and that's not really readily available in a lot of places. So we have partnered him up to work with a professor who is studying venomous snakes here on campus, and so they're going to have that internship, and then in the future they might be able to work at the zoo for their internship, or we have in town Wonders of Wildlife through Bass Pro that maybe they can work there. We've had students work in childcare, media, filmmaking, electric sound arts, art, religion, all kinds of things. So we try to make sure that they get those job experiences specific enough for what they're studying. So it's not just cookie cutter job experiences. And then I talked about how the program was, it's myself and my program specialist, the 2 GAs, and then we have the 2 tutors. And sometimes, like this semester, we have additional support. We have social work practicum students who are also helping our students with some other additional things that they can benefit from.
How much does the Bear Power program cost?
So the cost for coming to Bear Power Missouri State University looks like this. So students must take at least 6 hours of the course catalog. And so you have the tuition for those courses, the living on campus and meal plan, and then there's a fee for Bear Power to provide the supports we offer, and then of course books and supplies, and then some dining dollars is also added on to, that way students can use some funds to buy something in the student union or the convenience stores on campus. With all that together, it's about $13,000 a semester. So to break that down, the tuition is about $1,600. The Res Live meal plans is about $5,500. The fee for Bear Power is a little over $4,000, and these are all for a semester. There are scholarships for students through the Arc of the Ozarks, Ruby's Rainbow. We have our own Bear Power Excellence Scholarship. And then some of the students that work with their disability boards back home, sometimes I can write a grant and get scholarship money that way, or they can provide a scholarship. Our students that have an intellectual disability, or I can find evidence of that. So if I have a student with autism, but they also have a lower cognitive ability and have had that adaptive testing to go with that, then they can also possibly get the Pell Grant. So there are ways that we try to find for students to break those financial barriers.
Do you have some student success stories that you would like to share?
So we have lots of success stories, but some that I love to highlight. One student was super shy at the beginning of the process. Our admissions process is that document, and then we do interviews, and then we bring the students to campus for the whole day. And during all those pieces, the student was very shy, answered in 1 or 2 word answers, didn't like touch from anyone. And as she went through this program, her thing was art. She was really a good artist, and she started to bloom and blossom. And by the time she completed the program, she was able to get a full-time job teaching art to strangers, is an advocate in the community, even comes back each year to help us with our admissions that day on campus, teaching prospective students about vision boards and how to make those. And then she was actually selected to paint the Be Well Bell. The Be Well Bell project is something going across the country, that they melted down the shackles and chains that were used on those in mental institutions back in the day, and they made these big old metal bells. And the student specifically was picked to paint on the outside of it to help demonstrate resources for mental health. And so she was chosen for that, and then she gave an interview to the local TV station and gives hugs and is just completely able to show her light to the world, which is amazing. Another student that was on the autism spectrum, she took all her classes for credit and was using this as a stepping stone to learn, like, how can she do this on her own. And after she completed Bear Power, she continued on and got her bachelor's degree. And then one more success story I would love to share is that this individual also took 12 hours a semester and took them for credit, and was able to play the guitar and sing, was blind, and he graduated and now has a full-time job listening to phone calls to the jail. He's a level 1 investigator.
Big thanks to April and to the Bear Power program at Missouri State University. Please subscribe to Inclusive Academia.